Hello everyone, welcome to Delhi MuleSoft Meetup and thank you for joining us today. In today's session, we will talk about Anypoint monitoring, so stay tuned. Before we start today's session, let me introduce you today's organizers, hosts and speakers. So today's organizers are Anurag Sharma, that is me, Ankit Lavanya, Priyank Gupta and Abhay Agarwal. So these are our Delhi MuleSoft Meetup organizers. And now let me introduce myself. I am Anurag Sharma. I have total 9 years of experience. I started my career as a robotics engineer, but later I moved to Java and then I moved to MuleSoft. So total I have 9 years of experience and currently working as a technical integration technical lead. I'm a MuleSoft mentor and meetup leader for Delhi and Ahmedabad group and certified MuleSoft architect and Java professional. I'm also an active member on MuleSoft Helper Forum. And in free time, I mentor MuleSoft beginners and freshers and learn from developer and architect in our wonderful MuleSoft community. I own a MuleSoft station group on Telegram and Instagram. Join us for free and ask any questions about MuleSoft. We recently announced free online classes for beginners and freshers. So you can share our Telegram group link. That is this one. So I will paste in the chat also. So you can share this link with your friends and colleagues who want to learn MuleSoft, or they can ping me or the LinkedIn. So we recently started a free online class. So already 3 sessions done. So Monday will be our 4th session, but we have the recording, so we will share with those people, and they can then sync up with other people and then can start with us. Okay. And now today's meetup speaker is Arvind, who have 24 plus years of experience. Arvind, it's over to you, please. You are on mute, Arvind.
Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in whichever part of the world. My name is Arvind Ramadgu, as you can see. Been working with in the integration space for almost like close to 17 years now. Majority of my experience was on Tipco, but then last 6 years had been doing MuleSoft. And then I also ventured into a few other tools like web methods, little bit of RPG and things like that. And then certified MCPA and MCIA and MCD also. And then I head Charlotte Meetup Group. Apart from that, I have passion to speak at various meetups. And then I've been doing Anypoint monitoring for last 2-3 meetups. I spoke at Denver, and then I spoke at Chicago, Denver, Charlotte, and then now this is my 4th meetup. Fourth meetup where I'm speaking about Anypoint monitoring. So that's about me. Please do feel free to reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn. Feel free to add me, and then if I see MuleSoft attached to you, I'll add you. Okay, so feel free to add me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arvind. Thank you so much. And guys, I just want to inform you that it's very late for Arvind. It's a midnight, so please be kind when you ask any questions related to today's session. And thank you for joining. And at the end of the session, we will have a quiz of 8 questions. So the person who will score in top 3 will get a free training voucher from MuleSoft. So stay tuned and enjoy the session. If you have any questions, please post that question in Q&A box. At the end of the session, we will answer all those questions. So just stay tuned and enjoy the session. So Arvind, you can share your screen and we can start the session.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so very much. Give me 1 second. Let me
Thank
get
you.
the slides situated, and then we can get started. Okay.
Sure.
Hi, Anurag.
Hey, hi Ravi.
Yeah, Arvind, I missed many times. I think now I am lucky to hear your session.
Hey Ravi, good to see you, man.
I missed many times, Anurag, Arvind.
Hey, thanks for joining, Ravi. I mean, like, this is when Anurag reached out to me, I said, like, yeah, I'll do it. I didn't realize that it's going to be like 1 a.m. for me. The session will be at 1 a.m. But then I told him, like, hey man, I have to be up at 1 a.m. today. So please be patient when if I'm rushing, like, please don't curse me, is what I told him. But I'll try to make it as good as possible. I'll share everything I know about Anypoint monitoring. With that, let's get started. Let me ask you this question, like, how many guys have you ventured into monitoring? Meaning, like, how many of you have done some kind of monitoring on your APIs? Yeah. So monitoring comes in, like, three different parts. We talk about Anypoint visualizer. Then we talk about monitoring in general is, like, very important in order to make sure that, like, to monitor the health of your APIs, applications, and making sure your instances are running properly. And then, and I mean, seeing, like, what is going to happen, and then identifying those risks and then mitigating them is where you actually use monitoring, and then whereby you can actually make sure that, like, your services are never uh, go down, and then they are always up and running, and then making sure that, like, your customers are happy, and that's where the monitoring plays very important role. So now we have different things we will be discussing in our today's session. We'll talk about Anypoint visualizer. We'll slowly then get into Anypoint monitoring. We'll talk about API functional monitoring. With that said, let's talk about what is visualizer. I mean, visualizer is nothing but, like, it gives you a kind of graphical representation of how your APIs are situated, what uh, how you can see your APIs in action, and then figure out, like, I mean, is it right way to do my design, or am I? I mean, like, can I change this? And then this provides, like, it displays views and displays different aspects of application network graph. And graphs can be used to explore your application network. It also provides a real-time representation of your APIs. And also there are variety of use cases to your Anypoint visualizer. One, you can do architectural reviews. Two, you can troubleshoot. And three, you can also see where your policies are compliant and where your APIs are not compliant with those policies. So if you look at this picture, right, on this particular slide, on your left hand side, this is basically representing your this portion is representing how your APIs are laid out, and then what are your different systems, where your APIs are connecting to, and then how, I mean, you can also see, like, how they are connecting, and then how your client applications are invoking those APIs and things like that. Now, with this, when you are defining your architecture, right, you see that, like, oh, maybe this is not the right way of doing it. I may probably have to add another API, or, like, maybe invoke a different API, and then you can visualize that, and then you can add that API. And then in the next one, you see the troubleshooting part, right? Now, it shows up, like, suddenly your process API will show up in orange, meaning, like, when you are drilling down, like, now you go and see your actual system API is something where the problem was, right? So that's how you drill down, and then you troubleshoot where exactly the problem is, and then by visually you can point out where the problem is. Now go and take a look at the logs for that particular API, and then you can figure out why that is done, and then you can bring it back or whatever you want to do with that, right? And then third one is your policy. How many APIs are policy compliant? What kind of policies I'm applying, and if there is a policy, it will show up in green, and then if not, it shows up in red or orange, or it will tell you what is missing. So visualizer users, you can discuss your current design state. You can actually identify redundant connections and define and visualize implementing your API-led architecture. And you can also see, while you are developing, right, where am I? How is my network looking like? What is happening? And then things like that. And then you can also reduce the time for production issue identification. Just now I have talked about that will play a vital role in identifying where the problem is, and then how to fix it, right? And then it also ensures that the policy is followed across the board, right? And then here is how you can measure various different things here. So inbound connections, average response time, average throughput, errors, what is my average CPI utilization, what is my memory utilization. There are bunch of other things where you can measure all of those things, right? And then let's talk about errors. Now this particular API is errored out. Here it says it gives you some number, and then you can drill down, and then you can figure out which APIs are errored out and why it is errored out. What is the root cause for that? And then when you drill down, you will know that yes, this particular API has gone down for because the database is down, or something got messed up with the connection, or somebody deployed a wrong code, whatever it could be, right? So that thing, those kind of things you can figure out using your visualizer. And now if you look at here, right, it will tell you what kind of policies are applied here at which level. So this diagram basically represents that one. And then again, you can also see where is my client ID enforcement applied. It will tell you it will show you all the APIs where the client ID enforcement is applied. So this is very visual tool. And then people say pictures speak 1,000 words, right? So you can identify, and then you can make sure that when you talk to your senior execs or in your company, and then when you are presenting to your customer, when you show this kind of a diagram, they'll be impressed. Wow, oh, API, Anypoint monitoring does all these things, and visualizer is such a wonderful tool, right? And then some of the recommendations here, you can create layers and tags, and then provide friendly names which you follow across your organization. Each enterprise is different, and then each enterprise has their own standards. So you can use and you can actually give custom names, and then custom tags by grouping your service APIs, and then nodes, and then multiple tags attached to it. And then display name provides a human readable title of that at that particular node, right? And then you can also automate automate assignment of tags and layers in your CI/CD. See, you can use these variables, and then you can configure them in your CI/CD pipeline. And then create and share views and encapsulating different personas. Based on your audience, you can customize those views and then share it with them. when we talk about holistic projects, you can show a different view when you are talking about when you are talking to your architects, platform architects, or your support guys. Then you talk in terms of environments. This is where it is down. This API has gone down on so and so environment and things like that. And then your departments will have their own. Uh, uh, they want their own custom views. So you can cater to everybody. That's that's what we are talking. These recommendations will come useful. Now, what is Anypoint monitoring? You application performance monitoring. There is a log management module to it, and then you can even define your own custom metrics and events, right? So what do you get with, there are two kinds of versions. I mean, two kinds of licensing, right? One is platinum, and the other kind of license you have in MuleSoft, which offers is they offer a titanium license. Okay. In that case, let's talk about what platinum when you take platinum license, what kind of features you get in Anypoint monitoring. So for application monitoring, you get application metrics, API functional monitoring, and then basic alert, right? And then for log management, you get basic logging and then basic log search. For custom metrics, and you get basic custom dashboards. And for monitoring infrastructure, it is basically shared monitoring infrastructure, meaning your organization will share the monitoring with other organizations also. Okay. Now let's talk about what you get with Titanium. Apart from what all the features you saw in Platinum, apart from that, you get connector metrics, you get flow metrics, you get advanced alerting and reports with respect to your application performance monitoring. For log search, you get distributed log management, you get advanced log search, codeless logging, and then log warehousing, and then log tokenization. Okay. Log tokenization is very, very important when you are sending some critical data, which is something like your customer data, like credit card, or date of birth, or things like that, right? You don't want that data to get exposed. So that's where you do the log tokenization. And then when it comes to your custom metrics, you get advanced custom dashboards, and then you also get custom metrics. And then in the monitoring infrastructure, you get dedicated monitoring infrastructure, high frequency data collection, and then increased data storage capacity, and also custom data retention and location. So these are all the different features you get when you buy your Titanium license, right? Now let's talk about application performance monitoring. How many of you have done application performance monitoring? You can actually, I mean, you probably may have used it in your projects. So if you did, fine. Otherwise, we'll just go and talk about it. Okay. So application metrics. What kind of application? It provides almost close to 80 plus different out-of-the-box metrics that is provided by MuleSoft. Inbound, outbound traffic statistics, application performance data, message failures, JVM insights, and infrastructure statistics. So those are all the different kind of things it will provide. And then your dashboard will look something similar to this, right? And then it also gives you your flow metrics, and then there are about 14 plus different kinds of flow metrics you can actually monitor, right? um, and application, I mean, whenever we write our applications or APIs, it will have multiple flows, and then it will also pinpoint the poor responding flows very quickly. That is the biggest advantage, so that you also know that when you deploy your code in dev, and then when the testing is happening, you will figure out, oh, okay, here the response time is low. Response time is high. Then I need to do something. I need to basically kind of make a course correction so that you catch that problem early, and then you fix it. So you will not be spending long hours troubleshooting a production issue when you deploy your code into production. That is the advantage it brings here. And then you can also see connector metrics, how my each of my connectors are performing, how many Salesforce requests, what is my are how many requests are happening on Salesforce connector in a particular given time, and then what are my response times on the Salesforce. I mean, when you make a query on Salesforce, how quickly or how late the data you are getting the data, and then what kind of failures you are seeing, and those are some of the things like you can monitor. And you can also monitor database, HTTP, FTP, object store, SFTP, SMTP, and then there are various other kinds of things. And it will also help you understand the endpoint specific behavior. And some kind of basic alerting, this you actually saw in your runtime manager itself. You can actually see some of the basic alerting. You can actually do it from your runtime manager, but here it is little more advanced, where you get 50 basic alerts per org. For Titan, about 100 different alerts per particular organization, right? And you can also write some advanced alerts, and then you can tie them into a custom dashboard, graphs, and you can also track different trends and create alerts triggered by conditions, um, and then identify and address abnormal behavior. This is very critical, because when you do this, you can figure out where the where it is behaving abnormal, and then you can make some course corrections there. And you, like I mentioned, you can also pinpoint your problems very easily, and you can make up to 20 advanced alerts per hour. Okay. And you can actually conditions for alert types, these are all for both Titanium, you can get all these things. For only Titanium, you can here is the list of it. Basically, these are very critical: request count, response code, what is my policy violation. These are very critical. And then also, these are some of the things which we see in our day-to-day life: deployment failed, deployment success, CPU usage, memory usage, worker not responding. I mean, when you open your email every morning, you probably might be seeing this particular email popping up on your inbox, isn't it? And then you can generate various kinds of reports from your uh, from whatever you are monitoring. You can see, uh, get the health reports, and then also resources utilization. And then you can also kind of adjust the time range, and then also drill down based on what time you can actually pinpoint a problem, and then you can drill down on that. So I mean, here is also this is about your functional monitoring, API functional monitoring, test APIs in production to prevent failures, and measure API performance in real time, ensure network uptime, network application uptime, and then prevent system failures before they happen. This is something this is most, I mean, rewarding feature of any monitoring system. So this is why we actually put monitoring in place. I'll take a pause here. If we have any questions, we can discuss that. Anurag, do we see any questions?
Not at moment, Arvind. Guys, if you have any questions, please
We are
ask.
good.
You can post your
Yeah,
questions in Q&A
you
box.
can. Either I'm talking good, or people are not getting any.
No, you are going good. No, I think you are explaining very well, so that's why there is no question. Everything is very, precisely explained. So it's very nice. So we are good. Currently, there is no questions. So
Okay, let's go back and then let's continue our session. Okay. So now let's talk about custom metrics and events. So basic custom dashboards, here you get almost 60 plus different metrics out of the box, and provide instant visibility into the performance of your applications, and run details of your network. See, basically, when you run your application, when your requests are coming in, your Anypoint monitoring will kind of generate all these kinds of graphs, and then by which you can actually see the problem is, and then you can figure out where the problem is and then fix easily. I mean, as long as everything looks green, it's all good. But if you see something going wrong, then you need to get into action and then fix that. And then this is where monitoring will help you. It will tell you upfront, why your applications are, your API is going down here. We are seeing some abnormal behavior and things like that, right? And we have custom metrics and events. You have this custom create a sales metric, when you use your Salesforce and create a new sale in Salesforce, and then you can actually configure a sales metric, how many sales happened during a particular period of the day, or you can get multi-dimensional metrics, dynamic values for event specific insight, configured using out of the box connector. So this is what you can do with your custom metrics. And here is your advanced boards, you can track impact of APIs on business performance in real time, create a business facing dashboard. This is what I was talking about, where when you go to your execs, right, they will not understand what you are doing in terms of APIs unless they are very technical. But everybody likes graphs, and then you can create some very good dashboards, and then you can show them okay, you are in good hands. Your applications are running perfectly fine. So um, so that's how you can talk to them, or you can actually run with the problem to them and then say that this is where this is not right, and then we need to do something. Even before they come to you, you can go to them and then show these dashboards, and then leverage sites to optimize your business and API programs. So those are some of the advantages with your custom metrics and custom events. Now let's talk a little bit about log management. Like that, in your platinum, you get basic logging and then log search, and this is how your basic logging will look like. And then Cloud Hub stores up to 100 megs of data, log data per application per worker, okay, or 30 days, whichever comes first, okay. Basic search capabilities, no, there won't be any log aggregation, okay. And then you have distributed log management, where you can search a raw log and even data across your network. and you can use something like a query builder to filter your log data, view aggregated logs from multiple Mule applications, and quickly and easily pinpoint the root cause of the of a problem. So this is available in titanium version. Blue represents titanium, and then black represents platinum here across the slides. Okay, and then this is what we are explaining, like what is there, like what does each of these things mean. Filter based elements, like these are all you can use for filters, and then you can save your search. You can actually specify time windows to more easily pinpoint your messages. Most often times what happens is your application will be running throughout the night, and then somebody, you are sleeping, and then next day morning somebody calls you at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. in the morning, and then say that, like that application is not working, I am not seeing my data. Now that you have all the, I mean, you have written, you have a well written code, you have everything. Now you know the ID of which things which didn't make it, and now they say that, like I submitted this at 1:15 a.m. last night. Okay, then you go and search in that window from 1:15 to 1:10 to 1:20, and then that's when you can pinpoint and then figure out what that message is, right? And here is, like you can generate logs real time via configuration only. You can make define certain configurations interactively, extract the data from running applications on demand, reduce application complexity by replacing code with configuration. This is very, very important. I mean, every time you make things easy for customer will love it. So this is one of the advantages you get from doing a codeless logging and doing the configurations. And you can extract data from outside Anypoint via proxy. Also, you can search across all logs with log management, right? And here is, like you can also kind of warehouse. You can log data is very valuable, and then you need to kind of retain it probably few years. Okay, when you go with a data warehouse, like it can store up to petabytes of logs at low cost. Storage data architecture enables unique flexibility, and then set retention for your real-time search and raw data storage tiers independently. Okay, enables auditing, security, and compliance. So these are some of the advantages you get from that, right? And then, like I was talking about log tokenization, this is a very classic example. Like now you have your credit card number, which is, like very which comes under your personal identification data. So these things certainly need to be encrypted, and then, like even at rest and while in transit. So this is a great solution for attacking that problem of uh, encrypting and then securing the data, and then removing the sensitive log from the data and from the scope of compliance, right? So those are some of the advantages you get from log tokenization. And then let's talk about, like dedicated monitoring infrastructure. So shared monitoring infrastructure, basic Anypoint monitoring, Platinum is hosted on shared infrastructure. Customer data is isolated via multi-tenancy constructs, and then data is specifically stored in US East, North Virginia, and Cloud Hub stores logs up 100 megs per application per worker. We just learned that, right? And then next thing is, let's talk about dedicated monitoring infrastructure. So choice of geographical storage location, you get for US, you get North Virginia, and then for your European Union, you get Frankfurt. flexible hyperscale data storage. You get up to 200 gigs per prod core and then 50 gigs per pre-prod core, right? If required, you can also buy additional storage in 1 TB, 1 terabyte increments can be purchased. Okay. And then you need to contact MuleSoft support for that. Right. Now I conclude my presentation here, and then now I open up the forum for questions.
Thank you, Arvind. I have a question.
Mhm.
That is somebody posted in direct message. So thing is, she's asking like as we have a feature of 100 MB because the cloud hub store only 100 MB data. Then what is the use of this log warehousing? So is it like it will store more data or how?
Warehousing,
Yeah.
log warehousing.
Yes, log warehousing.
So log warehousing basically is you can store your logs for a longer duration of time, and then like when you run your applications for years, it will gather data in a very large quantities, and it can actually go into petabytes. What they are saying is what it means is you are storing your logs somewhere, and then there is some logs old. You're also setting a time limit, right? When up to when you will call it as a recent data, and then after that you call it as a archive data. It just assume your archive, right? You archive files every month or every 2 months, right? Likewise, you archive your logs whatever time you want to keep, and then after that retention time, you are pushing them into a data warehouse. Or here, assume log warehouse as your data warehouse, and then it exactly works on the constructs of your data warehouse.
Thank you, Arvind.
Yeah.
Any other questions, friends? I think most of the people are as a presenter mode, so they can unmute themselves and can ask any question.
Anurag, Anurag, one second. Anurag might have
Yeah.
said it is late for me. Do not hesitate asking your questions. I can stay for another 15-20 minutes. So do not go in with his words, okay? You can ask questions. If you don't ask questions, I feel bad that I did not do justice to the topic.
No, Arvind, your question is excellent, Arvind. But your movie is like on Triple R and it's already went 3-4 times, right? People are already digested very well. I saw many people even wait on review to follow like
Ravi is in full
watching
action now. So I think if you guys don't have questions, then I assume that you understood it well. That is the first thing. But you can also ask me questions after this call. You can send me a message on LinkedIn if you have any questions. So I'll definitely make sure that I'll get you the answer. Even if I do not know, I'll get you an answer.
But Arvind, do you remember few days back you attended one product meeting? What happened to that? Do you got any further input for when they are going to come up with new features of monitoring?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I have to talk to that guy, the Anypoint monitoring product manager, after some time, Ravi. Probably I'll connect with him during my. I mean, when I'm in SFO, I'll try to connect with him in April, and then get some answers with respect to that.
See, overall feedback, okay, Anypoint monitoring has so many features. Even still, customers, we talked about the same thing, right? Customers, uh, there are so many
See,
features that customer is asking to go for the titanium. people just they think for the few pennies of money.
No,
Why you want to go for the titanium like that? So
Ravi, I'll tell you another reason, right? Why people do not use any point monitoring. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, one, every organization they have a enterprise-wide monitoring software, right? And then they think that MuleSoft monitoring is an extra burden or an extra cost for them, right? So that's why most enterprises tend to avoid using this product. I
yes,
think
I agree. Yeah,
there are some innovative ways how we can actually take it to customers, and then we need to kind of nobody talks about when you troubleshoot an application, right? Somebody needs to show to your customer hey, you know what, look, with this how soon I identified the problem, and then this is what the value add this product brings, and then this is how you can actually resolve your issues quickly. And then Ravi, also remember we talked about other features we wanted, right? Like providing deeper insights, also predicting a problem, like some kind of predictive analytics needs to be in place so that this product will have more value add. So that's my take on it. It's a very interesting product, but most neglected product. That's how I'll put it.
yes, Aravind. And also like maybe if you look at from developer perspective, if any issue comes up, maybe in that most of the what I see is that people, maybe principal architects, maybe platform architects, maybe only having access to the monitoring and all. But ideally, even developers, suppose if they notice anything, then if they have access, they should start looking into the all these analytics and take some decision, right? I saw something.
Absolutely
I know that there are certain developers, they're in good clients actually. Whenever it comes up, first they go to the analytics and see what exactly happening, then take a
correct.
decision.
Correct, correct. And see, basically more. I mean, see now AI and ML are taking over everywhere, Ravi. Okay, I think some kind of intelligence need to be built into monitoring systems. So only then we can actually make this product more lucrative to the customers. See, otherwise, this product is going to, I mean, we will be talking in forums, but then, this product will never flourish the way other aspects of the Anypoint platform flourish.
Yeah.
And that's my take on it. I'm gonna actually talk to product managers when I'm actually in SFO. I mean, this product needs to be, uh, this product has to be in some kind of aggressive marketing, or the way this product is laid out right now, or maybe supercharging this product to kind of supercharging in the sense with the features, more advanced features, and then more valuable features to the customer. So
And
that's
also,
for
Arvind,
something we can.
if you observe it, maybe Anurag, my observation is that from the last before 1 year, we have this very good feature, and this, as you told, that this was not sold perfectly. It not went into the at the developers architect level. Even I know that many people, when you say they don't know, see there are different ways, right? Monitoring, analytics. There are
Mhm.
three different ways. People never get an idea why we have three. And fortunately, if you look at from the last 1 year, many people, our excellent, our community leads has taken this topic and started. I saw many meetups happen on this monitoring. That actually helps the
Ravi,
all
Ravi,
the
I'd been
architects.
doing I'd been doing monitoring for the last four meetups, Ravi. This is my
Yeah,
fourth meetup
yeah.
where I'm
Even
talking
also,
about
Arvind,
monitoring.
yeah, like this, I see that there is a lot of awareness actually was done by our MuleSoft community leaders and all. It's a very good
Mhm.
act.
And
Many people
actually, you know what?
people
I
knows
think now,
The people
I
knows
think what,
what exactly these features and everything. I think from our
yeah.
side we did a good job actually in terms of pushing this feature to the each and every level of community.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I feel that like, you know, we need to have a very open conversation with the product team, and then, like, you know, make sure they understand, uh, and then, like, you know, product marketing team especially, and, like, you know, we need to get their buy-in also into this, so that, like, you know, this product can be more successful. And this is
Actually,
a beautiful product, man. This is a excellent product.
yeah, actually, what I felt like most of the people like who are like of leads and all, what I felt like in some projects that we are not able to convince the clients that for to go for this product like more towards any point monitoring and not. They always go to third parties for any analytics and monitoring. So that's why we plan like we should have more sessions and more powerful sessions of any point monitoring, so the people who can learn from these meetups and they can really convince to the client like, look, this is the power of any point monitoring. You don't need to go to any other third party. Everything in one package, and you can do whatever you want to do around analytics and monitoring. So yeah, as Arvind said, it's a very powerful tool. We have everything in one package.
Absolutely. And then, guys, like, you know, feel free to send your questions. This is not the end of it. I'll keep coming and then showing my face to you guys, and then keep coming up with new topics, and then we'll be talking on new topics. But I'm going to do monitoring for some more time. This quarter, like, you know, I'll be speaking on monitoring at various forums. So,
Thank you. I mean, there is one question in Q&A box
mhm.
from Christy. Uh, can the custom dashboard be embedded in external tools like Microsoft Teams channel or Slack channel? We had explored,
I
yeah, we had explored and had seen that it cannot be published outside of the MuleSoft platform.
That is correct. But you can use that, like, you know, there is a metrics connector, which, by which you can actually bring various metrics, and then you can actually develop it as an API, and then you can embed API to any of your choice platforms, and then you probably need to take that data and then build some kind of dashboard. But at the moment, like, you know, you cannot actually a dashboard from Anypoint monitoring in on Anypoint platform, and then send it to Slack or anything like that. But good question. Really appreciate it. You asking that question.
Thank you, Arvind. Guys, more questions?
Anurag, people may ask questions, but then you can go ahead with trivia, because people are all waiting for the trivia, and then, like, you know, you can declare the winners also, and then I'll stop sharing, and then you can take it over.
Okay, okay, yeah. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
I start sharing my screen. Let me know once you are able to see the screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One moment. I will start the quiz. Okay, guys, you can join this one. Join myquiz.com and enter this code. Okay, I will ping this code in the chat and quickly join this, and we will be starting the quiz. I'm starting. In the meantime, just copy this code. I also pinged. So okay, people started. Join. So we'll do 3 guys. Quickly join the session. Okay, guys. I think I should start it now because most of the people already joined, and people who are not able to join, so don't worry. Maybe next time. Okay, next time you can join with your personal laptops or like by every time in Delhi meetup we'll have this link quiz.com. We will be having quiz via this one because this is very simple tool. Okay, that we realized and we started with this one. Okay, so let's start. Okay, guys, answer it quickly. We have here 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. Let me go to next one. Okay, so by this one, Debu. Okay, we'll see it later. Next question, guys. Quickly, time is moving fast. 4 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, time's up. Okay, so Debu, Pratap, and Suraj is in top 3. Okay. Three more people need to answer, guys, quickly. We have 4 seconds. Time's up. Thank you. So Debu is leading, Suraj and Sham. Let's go to next one. So Suraj, Debu, and Sham in top 3 till now. Oh, time's up for this question.
You want me to take the screenshot for this one?
The scorecard will take in that, but 1 or 2 screenshots are fine because we'll put it in the wrap up. It's like okay,
So let's take it at the end. Leaderboard, we'll take it at the end. Okay.
Yeah, correct. So this is the last question. This was the last question, guys. So I'm ending the quiz. I hope you guys enjoyed this. So Vivek, yeah. So our winners are Debu and Vivek Ravi is our final winners. So guys, please ping your email address in the chat or to me. Okay, and we'll share you the training vouchers. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Suraj, and thank you, Debu. So our winners are Suraj, Debu, and Vivek. Okay, guys, let me go back to the slides. Okay, so guys, this was all about today's session. So our next meetup will be on 2nd April next week. That will be 11 a.m. Okay, that will be for Anypoint Exchange and Access repository with MuleSoft Exchange. So if you didn't register, please register it. Uh, Go to Meetup MuleSoft Daily. This is the link, and there you can register for that event. Okay, I think in the chat. So please share this meetup tweet with the hashtag of MuleSoft meetups. Okay, and if you give us the survey, we will send you a survey form. Please fill that and give us the feedback that will help us to to improve our sessions for next meetups. If you want to become a feature attendee of Daily MuleSoft Meetup group, send us a request. We will add you in that one. Okay. If you have any queries, if you want to speak in our group, then you can contact the organizers via LinkedIn, or you can directly send a request through Meetup, MuleSoft Meetup portal. Okay, there is a link. Okay, so this is my LinkedIn ID. You can connect me and you can ask anything to join our MuleSoft community. Okay, and if you want to be a next speaker, connect with me. You can connect to Arvind also. Okay, and he is also on LinkedIn. He will be sharing you. If you have any questions that you didn't ask, you can ask him. Okay, you can ping me also. I can answer those questions. Okay, feel free. Don't hesitate. Please be active in the community and learn from our MuleSoft meetups. There are a lot of meetups is going on in the future. You can get all the list of those meetups from MuleSoft Meetup portal. Register for them and enjoy the session. There are so many wonderful speakers in our community. They give you really nice sessions. You can enjoy that. Okay. Now we have a networking time. If somebody want to speak about their experience, about their any innovative ideas, about their challenges that they are facing in the project, okay, you can discuss here. If you have something that was that is really interesting about your MuleSoft journey, that you can share with us. So it's open platform. It's our networking time. Please unmute yourself and you can talk with us, discuss with us, anything. And I hope you enjoyed today's session. Here's our demo from Arvind. He's very senior person between us. He have a lot of experience, and really, it was very very awesome presentation by him. Thank you, Arvind.
Thank you.
Big
Thank you
applause.
so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, Arvind. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Anurag. My pleasure. And thank you guys, for taking and joining the session. It's, please do not hesitate to ask questions, learn more, and then feel free to reach out to meetup leaders. And if you want to talk on any of the topics, see, we all started like you guys, right? And we were not day one, we were not the leaders. We came into the meetups, we understood how this runs, and then we basically got the pulse of how what goes on here, and then from there we actually applied for becoming a meetup leader. Every of us are we have our unique hidden skills which we need to bring out. You will know only when you come and present, right? So feel free to kind of register, and then also if you have a topic which you want to talk about, it could be 15-20 minute topic, but please do reach out to the meetup, make sure you're present. So that's all I wanted to give you as a tip before I log off today. Thanks, Anurag, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And thank you all. You made it successful. And then you attended this, and then you are making these meetups successful. So I thank you all for making it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, everybody will get the recording and the slides. Will share. Like you guys registered, and you will get till end of the day. You will get an email with the video link plus the slides. Okay, and you can watch the recording over there. Okay, thank you so much for joining. And if you don't have any questions and you don't want to discuss anything, so we can wrap up today, and we'll join back next Saturday for the next topic. Stay tuned and have a nice